Shaika, and today we'd like to talk about another topic, which is like a hot topic in discussions all around the world. And of course, it's one of the hot topics in different exams like IELTS test, FC test, CAE, and CPN. All of the exams which I've seen, like Duolingo, they have this topic, which is environment and the environmental issues. So we would talk about the environment in the upcoming minutes. So let's get started. But before that, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and do everything. Let's talk about environmental issues or environmental crisis. The environmental issues or the environmental crisis are the crisis or problems that people and the world, the earth, is endangered by these problems. And if they get serious and actually they are getting more and more serious every year, and they are threatening the human beings and the earth. They are very global. Global means they are all around the world, and they are threatening all around the world, all the continents like America, Africa, Asia, Europe, and all over the world. So what are they? For example, global warming. What is global warming? Global warming is the rising temperature of the earth. The earth is getting hotter and hotter every day. And if the earth is getting hotter and hotter, the amount of carbon dioxide would be more and more. If the amount of carbon dioxide increases, the amount of greenhouse gases would increase as well. If the amount of greenhouse gases, what are they? Greenhouse gases are the gases that trap the heat. If they increase, they would deplete the ozone layer. The ozone layer is the layer that the earth is surrounded by that. If greenhouse gases deplete the ozone layer, it means that they make a hole in the ozone layer. So in that case, the climate change happens. The climate change is changing the weather all around the world, and it's one of the most serious issues all around the world nowadays, because the global warming is happening all around the world, and all of the continents and countries and the governments are endangered, and they are worried about this issue. So this is one of the most important issues nowadays. Another kind of issue is about pollution. For example, noise pollution, or plastic pollution, or water pollution, air pollution. Air pollution affects the air quality. The quality of the air would decrease, and it's mostly caused by fossil fuels. What are fossil fuels? For example, like coal, oil, and petrol. They are fossil fuels, but instead of that, governments should think about using renewable energy. Renewable resources are some resources that can be replaced naturally in the environment, like wind, like solar, like for example using solar panels, using electricity in cars, using wind to create energy. These kind of energies are renewable resources because they are replaced naturally. But unfortunately, fossil fuels, which are used widespread all around the world, they are not renewable. So they would increase the pollution level in the country. Another kind of environmental issues are about endangered species. As you know, because of the water pollution and even because of the deforestation of the woods, deforestation means cutting the trees. Because of the deforestation of the woods, a lot of species are endangered, and they are endangered of the extinction actually. For example, some exotic tigers or some exotic birds, they are endangered, and governments should think about a way to protect these species. We talked about the deforestation rate, and we said that deforestation means cutting the trees. Of course, in woods, we have some other kinds of issues as well, like soil erosion. If we say soil erosion, it means that the first and the second and the surface actually of this earth would decrease, and the earth would be like removed. It is soil erosion that really affects the trees, and the trees would be dry if in the long run, of course, if the soil erosion continues. As we said, we have different kinds of environmental issues. So what should we do to prevent the effects of these, or it's better to say to reduce the effect of these environmental issues? One of the most important ways that all individuals in communities can do is recycling program. We can participate in some recycling programs and recycle our waste at least at our homes to just a little bit help the environment. For example, nowadays in some European countries, they are not allowed to use plastic bags and they are just able to use some paper bags or some cloth bags. So it's one of the ways that they are trying to reduce this toxic waste. And secondly, we can a little bit go green. What's the meaning of going green? It means that try to start some eco-friendly or environmentally friendly programs, like as we see some communities try to gather together and gather some waste besides the sea or the beaches, and they try to help the environment. And of course, the government should think about some environmental protection to preserve the environment, and they should think about some ways to manage the waste or some waste management programs, because it's not only the responsibility of people but also the government. So people and the governments are not against each other. They should help each other to save the environment. As we see, even nowadays, some people try to use some eco-friendly products. A lot of people are vegetarians and try to not using the meat or some dairy products to help the environment. They have some environmental purposes. Of course, some of them have some other purposes, but some of them have environmental purposes. It can be one way as well. I myself, on a daily basis, I try to transport with my bicycle or my motorbike to reduce the carbon dioxide and the fossil fuels. Besides that, I try to recycle my waste on my daily basis, like try to separate the plastic, paper, and glasses. It's the only thing that I can do every day. I'm not a person who says I'm really environmentally conscious, but I try my best at least. How about you? What do you do to help the environment? Can you please write for me in the comments below? Thank you very much for watching me and take care. Bye bye.